Today we're here to answer one question. Can you actually build a financial forecast with AI? And spoiler alert, yes you can, but whether that forecast actually helps your business depends on a few fundamentals. A strong forecast comes down to one main thing, that you can defend every number in it. So let's dig into the 4 habits that are gonna get you there. Principle 1, build from the bottom up. A weak forecast starts with the whole market. The coffee industry is worth billions. We'll just grab 1% of that huge number, and that number kind of means nothing, and everyone reading it knows it. A strong forecast is built from your actual drivers. So for our sample coffee shop, Riverbend Coffee, that's how many cups you sell a month, times what you charge per cup, plus whatever you make on beans and pastries, everything else. Small, real numbers that you can stand behind. You stack those up and you reach your revenue honestly, and you can explain every step of how you got there. Number 2, anchor every assumption to something real. Every number in your forecast is a claim, and a claim without a source is just a wish. So when you say that you'll sell 200 cups a day, where does that number come from? Your point of sale history, a comparable shop down the street, is it foot traffic on the block? Tie each assumption to a benchmark, a quote, a competitor, or your own past numbers, and keep that logic where you can see it. Because when a lender asks, why 200? Having a real number ready is what builds trust. Number 3, tie your costs to the revenue that creates them. This is where a lot of forecasts kind of break down a little bit. People project a beautiful revenue ramp and then plug in flat, frozen expenses underneath that. The same rent, the same staff, the same everything over time, while sales supposedly triple. Now, in the real world, costs move with that plan. So if Riverbend Coffee is going to double its cups sold per month, that means more baristas on the schedule, more beans and milk going out that door, maybe a second espresso machine even. So when your expenses scale with your revenue, that whole forecast really holds together, and it reads like someone who's actually run a business. Number 4, model the timing. I like to do month by month. So think profit and cash aren't really the same thing. You could look profitable for a whole year and you could still run out of cash in, let's say, month 4, when, for example, the bills land before the sales do. A year-end total can hide that completely. So follow your cash across the year and watch for where it dips. When does cash actually come in versus go out? Is there seasonality? Does the shop slow down in summer and ramp up around the holidays? Keeping an eye on your runway month to month is what keeps a good year on paper from turning into a bad month in real life. Those 4 habits are how you build a forecast that holds up, but knowing the rules and starting from a blank page are 2 very different problems. Even when you know exactly what you're doing, sequencing that empty forecast from scratch can be a bit of a grind. Skipping that grind is the whole point of LivePlan's Help Me Forecast feature. Instead of starting with an empty forecast, you'll just answer some questions. Let me show you what that actually looks like. Okay, so I'm in LivePlan, and I am going to build Riverbend Coffee's forecast with the Help Me Forecast feature. It already knows I'm a coffee shop, so it opens with suggested revenue streams, and I just confirm them. Then, let's go back to principle number 1, the bottom-up one. What do I charge per drink? How many will I sell in month 1? We're talking price times volume, line by line. There's nowhere in here to type 1% of the coffee market, and notice the numbers are already filled in. LivePlan used AI to estimate them from details in my plan, my reference files, and real market data. But this is just a starting point, not an answer. You've got to revisit principle 2 and be in control of that. I know what the coffee shop down the street actually does, so I'm going to overwrite that volume with a number that I can source, that makes sense to me. And if I couldn't get that, well, every field has this. Not sure? Find a way to work it out for yourself so that you can trust the results. Then it walks me straight into direct costs. Watch how it asks. What share of each sale goes to cost? It's a ratio, not a fixed number. So when my volume moves, my costs move with it. That's principle 3, and it's built right into this model. LivePlan also asks how demand changes throughout the year here in Portland, Oregon. And that brings us back to principle 4. It's asked up front. Seasonality is a fact that affects your business. It's not something that you want to bolt on to the end and hope everything works out. It's only a few more steps to get a full, detailed starting forecast fully assembled. Revenue, expenses, and then it rolls straight into a cash flow projection. That's something that would have taken me hours if I started with a blank spreadsheet. The AI is getting you past the blank page, but the thinking is still yours to do. So that's the whole game. The strongest way to present your business is a forecast that you can back up line by line. Build from the bottom up, anchor your assumptions, tie your costs to your revenue, and watch your timing. Nail those 4 principles, and you've got a forecast that earns trust in the room. And if the blank page has been the thing stopping you, let Help Me Forecast get you moving. Give it a try in LivePlan, the link's in the description. Thanks for watching, and good luck with your forecast.